Test. All right, everybody, welcome back. We're going to be doing some preparations for fall Bible class, as you can probably tell from the title. And what that means is I've got 2 classes to teach this fall, and I'm going to go ahead and start doing some prep work. And the idea is to do this prep work on live stream on YouTube. It'd be a way for me to interact with you, let you get into my head and see what's going on, and perhaps we can do this thing together. So, what we're going to do first, it's always a good idea to do, is we're going to open up a Word document. Yep, blah, 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 blah. Okay, accept. Thank you very much. And this is apparently the first time that we've ever opened up a Word document on this computer, which is really strange. I actually had to reinstall everything, so that's why it's doing that. But I do have Microsoft Office. I'm not sure why it's not letting me type. Let's try opening it again. Da, 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 da. There we go. It just didn't recognize me at first. Okay, so basically we have 2 classes that we're going to be teaching this fall. We're going to be teaching a class on Daniel and a class on the minor prophets. And what I'm going to be doing on this live stream is just kind of collecting some resources, seeing what I have, and basically just kind of doing some preparatory stuff, like outlining the goals of the class and everything such as that. I'll blow this up for you a little bit there. So we're teaching 2 classes, Daniel and the minor prophets. Let's start off with just very basic stuff. We'll make this into like a like this. We'll say fall classes 2024. Daniel is the, let's see, the Sunday class is Daniel, and the Tuesday class is the minor prophets. And so if you see anything that stands out to you that like we could do better or whatever, then just put your information in the chat, like resource suggestions and things like that. You'll see how it's going to go. You'll see how it's going to go. But it should be fun. We're going to do this together. So the fall classes, the goal of these classes, we're going to say, is to provide the congregation with a solid foundation in Bible prophecy, interpretation of prophetic and apocalyptic language, and an appreciation for the New Testament's use of the Hebrew Bible. So that's kind of the general idea, right, of what we're going to be working on for both of these. That's the goal behind 2. Provide the congregation with a solid foundation about prophecy, interpretation of prophetic and apocalyptic language, and an appreciation for the New Testament's use of the Hebrew Bible. And this is going to be the basic document that we're going to be working off of, hopefully over the next 2 months in live streams. I'm just going to try to live stream this whenever I can. It's just a way for me to work through this in my own brain, and a way for you to be able to join in helping in creating this class. We're going to be bouncing back and forth between Windows here and potentially using the MacBook as well to create a nice handout for each class. We'll talk about that a little bit later. So this is going to be 13 lessons, section by section. 13 lessons, section by section, verse by verse, when applicable. And these sections are going to be 1 chapter each, an introduction. Let's see. We're going to have an introduction to Daniel that's going to discuss the date, authorship, situation, goals of the class, etc. And then we'll have 12 more lessons. Now, obviously, there's 12 chapters in Daniel, so we'll do Daniel chapter 1, Daniel chapter 2, is calling me. Laura's calling me. Hang on a second. Okay, sorry about that. So, alright, as you can see, we're gonna have 13 lessons. And we'll put this here so the numbers actually make sense. Oops. So we're basically going to do Daniel 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 like that, except when we get down here, we're going to switch it up just a little bit. So here we are on lesson 11. There's going to be 13 lessons. And so we're going to have to go something like this. Daniel 10 through 12, part A, part B, part C. Part A will give a basic history of Daniel. Now let me just do it like this. Daniel 10 and 11 as a unit. And then Daniel 12 is kind of like as kind of a continuation of that. And then we'll have a one final discussion that's going to be a review and highlighting the importance of Daniel for the New Testament. So basically what we're doing right now is creating kind of a syllabus. And so this is going to be the general outline, which is really easy, right? I mean, this is pretty straightforward of an outline. And it's important to highlight that these different weeks that we're going to be studying Daniel have different emphasis. Like, for example, Daniel 1, narrative. Daniel 3, narrative. Daniel 4 and 5 and 6, basically narrative. And then we get into the more detailed section in 7, 8, 9, 10 through 11, and 12. So there's going to be a lot of overlap in these. The basis of all this, of course, is going to be Daniel chapter 2, because Daniel chapter 2 gives us the basic outline for understanding the flow of the kingdoms or the beasts in Daniel 7 and Daniel 8, and then especially, like, for example, Daniel chapter 11, right? A lot of Daniel 10 and 11 is going to be less, here's what this means, here's what this means, here's what this means, and a whole lot more pointing out key events and being like, okay, so basically this is a commentary on what happens in the battle between the Northern Kingdom and the Southern Kingdom, the Ptolemies and the Seleucids. So anyways, that's the general outline for Daniel. Now we're going to do more of a focused look at resources that we're going to use. And to do this, we're going to go into our Logos Bible software program. We're going to let's open back up a Bible. And let's just type in for commentaries. We'll just type in Daniel. Now let's just take a look. Let's see. So we have the annotated Bible commentary. Let's see. Just going to look for a few that I really want to look at. This is the Anchor Yale Bible commentary. Let's see. I want to see the American commentary. Here we go. Put that over there. And then we need a commentary on Daniel from Hermanaea. There we go. And we'll leave it at that for right now. Now let's just look at, let's look outside of the commentary section, because obviously we have a lot there. And look instead at some of the other information here. Let's see. A lot of these are going to just be people named Daniel, but who knows what's going to come in the monograph section. the Apocrypha of the Book of Daniel, commentary on Thessalonians. Oh wait, I think that's actually mine. The Doctrine of God and Jewish apocryphal and apocalyptic literature. See, a lot of this sounds interesting, for sure, but nothing stands out to me just right off the bat. Okay, this will be potentially interesting. That looks like a potentially good resource there. Now let's see what else we got. La da 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 da. Go back to the monographs here. Study guides, workbooks. Nope. All right, should be good. All right, so we have four resources on Daniel just to start with, and obviously we're going to collect more, especially from a physical library. So we'll look at that as it comes out. What you do is you go in there and you copy the reference like that, and then you just paste it into your document. So you click on the three dots in Logos, click on information, you copy the reference, and then you paste it into your document. That way you can find it quick and easy when it comes time to actually get to work. I picked these particular resources, these three, because they're commentaries that I found have been somewhat reliable in the past, and I appreciate a lot of the scholarship within them. And then the other one just looked interesting. So Daniel and Revelation Committee Series, Symposium on Daniel, Introductory and Exegetical Studies. Let's take a look. Authorship, Theology, and Purpose of Daniel is well, for some reason we skipped way up here. Here we go. Authorship, Theology, and Purpose of Daniel. 6th or 2nd century origins. This will be a good section here to look at. Establishing a date for the Book of Daniel, the unity of Daniel, early development of the Antiochus Epiphanes interpretation. Well, that'll be good as well. And then exegetical studies in Daniel. This is just sort of a collection of essays from various authors. Yeah, that'll be nice. Okay, so let's go ahead and copy this. This seems like it's an in-depth resource, and regardless of whether or not we agree with anything in here, it'll at least be helpful to us, right? And so that's what you do. You just get your resources together. You got an outline prepared. We have a goal stated for the class, and that's going to be a good way to get it started. So 13 lessons. So let's look at our calendar real quick and see. So that's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So we're looking October 27th. So the idea here is August the 4th to October 27th. So that's hopefully the class there. And if I can finish by then, that would be amazing, because I'd put us right into the winter quarter. And also, it wouldn't take up too much of the people's time, because you can make this last forever, of course. All right, let's look at the Tuesday class. This is going to be a little bit different, because this is not going to be so much of a verse by verse study, as much as it's going to be a overview of each book. So I'll actually put the goal here of this particular lesson. Let's see. The goal here will be provide a good understanding of Daniel using quality historical and scholarly works. Let's see. To provide the congregation. Okay, provide a good understanding of Daniel using quality historical and scholarly works to let's see. Works. while studying Daniel, section by section, and verse by verse when able. Because, like, consider this, you're not going to be able to study all 48, 50 verses of Daniel chapter 2, right? But you can study a bulk of Daniel 2 and get a pretty good idea of it within a 45-minute class, right? So that's going to be a little bit of a different approach, okay? Now, our Tuesday class for Modern Prophets, the goal is going to be provide the class with a solid foundation so that they can read and understand much of what the minor prophets have to offer. So this is more of an introductory class than the more in-depth class on Daniel, right? And so we don't know how many lessons are going to be in here, so we're just going to put a blank number of lessons because it's going to be largely dependent upon the length of the book. So let's go to Hosea first. Hosea, we know, has 14 chapters, right? And so this is definitely going to be a 2-week class. So we're gonna kind of establish it like this. Each class, let's see. Each class will cover the following. So we need to cover the date. Let's see, the date of when it was written. We need to cover the historical circumstance, audience, northern, let's see, Israel, Judah, or let's see, Israel, Judah, or another nation. We need to talk about the situation. We need to talk about exilic, post-exilic, or this is like the worst way to write this, exilic. And we could actually, there we go. Is it pre-exilic, exilic, or is it post-exilic? And then we want to talk about key passages from major and minor themes, and then of course New Testament citations. Okay, so each class is going to cover each of the following things. Now, obviously, for a text like Hosea, it's 14 chapters long, right? Let's just put that in there. 14 chapters long. How are you going to cover 14 chapters reasonably in just 1 week? I mean, that's not really going to work, right? And so we're going to go ahead and allow 2 weeks for this. Hosea part 2. And we'll do, let's see. What if we just do 1 of 2, like that, 2 of 2. And we'll say in the first week, in the first week, we'll cover all this stuff. The historical circumstance, the audience, blah, 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 blah. And then And the second week, we can cover basically everything else. Key passages, major and minor themes, New Testament citations. I mean, I think that's a good, solid way to take care of that, right? Because it's not going to be too much per class, and then it'll kind of just break it up nicely. So then we have Joel, which is next. And Joel's one of those that could be done in 1 week. And Joel only has 4 chapters. Or sorry, 3 chapters. What was I thinking? Joel only has 3 chapters. And so all that can be covered in 1 week. So we're not even going to worry about copying and pasting it. Amos is one of those 2-week lessons, right? Because it has 9 chapters in it. And so we'll do kind of the same thing. So this is basically going to serve as our outline for every class. In fact, let's just go ahead and delete this because that's going to make it way too long. So we're just going to keep it kind of like this. Amos has 9 chapters, and so do it like that. And then we have Obadiah, which is 1 chapter, so we'll leave him alone just to do his own thing. Won't be too hard. Jonah is also one we could do in 1 week. It's a little bit shorter. And then Micah. Let's see. Micah has what? Jonah, Micah, Nahum. Micah has what? 5 chapters in, or 7 chapters in his letter. I'm thinking that Micah could be done in 1 week as well. And then we come to Nahum, and Nahum is also a shorter one. Micah has 7 chapters. Jonah has 4 chapters. Obadiah has 1 chapter. And then we have, after Obadiah, Jonah, Micah, Nahum. How many did we say Nahum had? 3. He's also a 1 week guy. Nahum, Habakkuk, which is what? 2 chapters? Well, I forgot the basically all the letters in it. Habakkuk is 3 chapters, okay. Habakkuk is 3 chapters. So that's 10 weeks. And then Zephaniah is also going to be 3 chapters. That's not too bad. And then Haggai, he's the one that's just 2. That's who I was confused about a while ago. Haggai is 2 chapters. And then Haggai is Zechariah. I'm getting him mixed up with old John the Baptist's daddy. That's 14 chapters. And then finally, we have Malachi, which is 4 chapters, I do believe. I'll double check that here in a second. 14 there, and then 4 there. Yep. And that's going to be it. So that's, let's see, that's 14 weeks. We don't have an introduction though, so we might do an introduction to start with to the Minor Prophets, and that'll make it a good 15 lessons. And we're looking there. They're not going to start their class until September. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Oh, just perfect. December 8th is the last day of that class. And so we could make that end just in time for the Christmas holidays. Because a lot of the people in that Tuesday class, they have stuff like, they got to go take care of grandkids and stuff like that. So September 1st to December 8th. And we could still potentially knock off like the introduction for that and finish on the first Sunday of December if we had to. I mean, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. You don't want to have to. You don't want to have to do something like that. Cut off a lesson, but it's possible. The only one I'm really worried about here is Micah with the 7 chapters. But, that's, I think, it's pretty reasonable to do it in 1 week, especially if you just hit the highlights. Because remember, we're only looking at data composition, historical circumstance, audience. Is it Israel, Judah, whoops, or is it another nation like Edom, and then the situation pre-exilic, exilic, or post-exilic, just to kind of give it a good, understanding of what's going on there. So I think this could work. Okay, let's look up minor prophet resources, because we know that we have all of these same commentaries, basically, except for that guy there. So let's see if we have any info here on the minor prophets in general. We're going to skip commentaries and just look at monographs. Okay, here's a I've already looked at this one. A resource by Walter Brueggemann, a study on the prophets, and there'll be at least some good historical stuff in there. So let's go. Resources. And let's see. What else we got? Introduction to the prophets. Running conversation rather than scholarly tone. Paul Reddit assumes little to no prior knowledge of Old Testament. He presents and introduces the major and minor prophets. Hey, that seems like a valuable resource, and so we'll just go ahead and copy that. And I mean, who knows if we're even going to like these, right? These might be terrible. I doubt. This is published by Cambridge and Ehrman, so it's not going to be, bad. But I just, it might be something we totally disagree with. But the point is, it's just get a variety of resources we're already aware of, and we can just kind of hop right into looking at. Okay, so besides the commentaries we've already addressed, it looks like that's going to be it for resources on minor prophets, at least within my digital library here. So we'll be able to look more into that in the print library, maybe next week when I'm in the office at some point. All right, so this is a pretty good start. This is a pretty good start to a study on the classes this fall. So let's go ahead and save this, and I'm gonna put it in my special folder, class. And we're just gonna say fall classes 2024, and that way we just have a good basis for whenever we come back here. Uh-oh, kids are awake. Kids took a late nap. They went to my grandparents' house. Yes, I agree. Yep. Hello, Mama. I'll end it up. Sorry. Yeah, Walter Brueggemann is one of the best. That is correct. Who got the primitive Baptist Universalism? Who could this be? Oops. Let's see. I feel like I should know who you are. But yeah, so this was a pretty good resource list. We got a good outline going. So we'll be getting to this. Maybe next week we'll do another live stream and we can flesh some of this out a little bit, and you can help me build my outline for all my classes. It should be very fun. You can pitch in, let me know what you think, and give tips and pointers along the way as we get into some of this, some of the weeds here. But I'll be teaching this fall. I would like to record them on my phone in audio format to post to YouTube for you guys, as well as provide you with the outlines. And so we'll see if I remember to do that. But anyways, we're doing bath time. It sounds like somebody go and help Laura do that. So I will see y'all later. Bye-bye. Oh.